Wrexler's on your mind. Not even like a needle in a haystack. Someone's been there but they never went back. Is it a gateway or maybe more? Wrexler's on your mind. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or care. I heard a rumor from maybe a Dan. The Rex is really just in our heads. I don't care cause I love the chase. Rexler will be mine. I'm just a galaxy searching on. Don't trust the others cause they bug my phone. I keep the tinfoil close tonight. Rexler's on my mind. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or care. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or care.
Lave Radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
Are you thinking of suing over missold Python protection insurance? Had an accident in an airlock or slipped in a space station cargo bay and thinking of suing for compensation? Well, don't.
I tried to take my ship commander to court for making fertiliser out of my crewmates. Legal fees have left me with nothing. And now I'm hungry. All the time.
At Watt & Brittany we take small print very seriously. We have a massive team of lawyers just waiting to block your case and ramp up your legal costs.
I wanted a simple, no-win, no-fee arrangement. My case got blown out of the water by Watt & Brittany, and now I have to rent out my arse for hydrogen fuel.
At Watt & Brittany we have a saying, if you don't want a beating, stay out of our court.
I was savaged by a wild creature whilst fixing a vending machine. Can't I claim compensation?
No, you can't, because we have a massive team of lawyers and you're just someone who works for a living. Watt & Brittany. Don't even think about it.
There's bargains, bargains, bargains at Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium haven't just been slicing carcasses, but also slicing their prices. All unspecified meat sausages now 2 for the price of 1. A pack of assorted meat steaks, now with 50% more meat at half the price. How about chops? Our surprising meat chops now also 50% off. And introducing our massive meat hamper. It's a family of 4. No, that should say feeds a family of 4, right?
Stick to the script, Claire. It says it's a family of 4.
Okay, I'll stick to the script.
Yeah, you do that.
It's a family of 4. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Find us in the Lave business directory or visit us next to the station mortuary. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. You'll wonder how our prices are so low.
Hauling steel most every night. I can't find those composites, it's driving me so wild. Hauling steel with all my might. Just tell my next of kin I lost my way while I was trailblazing. Now there's a station to my left, there's a racing track below me. Now without a turn to going round and round. Yeah, there's a burning in my eyes. Maybe I should sleep, but I just need one more run. Just one more run tonight. One more run tonight. Hauling steel, it feels so light. Give me your composites or you will surely die. Hauling steel right through the night. Just tell my next of kin I lost my way while I was trailblazing. All I wanna do is pick up a load, press SCO, take it home, and do it all again. That's all. Fill my hold, fill it full. Yeah, take my shields, squeeze it in. I just wanna play, so I could build an office if I never left. This damn house I set up is glued to me, and yes, I need a bio
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
Community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 526 of Lave Radio, the show that talks about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar tonight, we have our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
Good evening, everyone.
We have our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Aid Levice, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
Show me the way to Amarillo.
And we have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychit, otherwise known as Claire.
Hello.
So, if you wish, you can join us live. We're hanging out in game at the Lave Station bar. The Chris Mark IV is standing around there looking untidy. So you can go up and wave to him. But if you can't get to us in-game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, or even catch up with us on YouTube, because we're there as well. So 07 to everyone in the chat room. Everybody, let's go around the room, see how we've all been for the last week, and we'll start this week with Claire.
Hi. What have I done? I went to the cinema. This week. We went to see Mickey 17.
Is it good?
Oh my god! So, like, how many times do we get to a thing and you're like, "Hey, did you enjoy that film?" And I'm like, "It was all right." So okay, right. So Robert Pattinson is a very, very good actor. I've got no doubts about that. It is a space sci-fi film. It's based on a book. It is based on a book. I kind of do want to check out the book. The pacing is, yeah, I think the book's the same name. The pacing's a bit weird. I didn't enjoy the source. The pacing's very strange throughout it. And Chris was ill. He's been like had a cold, and about halfway through he snored in his seat next to me, and I was like, no, like elbowed him in the chest, because it was also really, really warm in the. It was like they compensated, and it was really warm in the theater, and he snored next to me, and I was like, oh no.
That happened to me when I was watching some kids' film with the kids, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And I had my daughter kicking me.
Is it kind of fun, or is it a bit disturbing?
It's weird. Okay. I think is my best way to describe it. It's weird. It's an interesting film. I think Oh God, what's his name? Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo's in it, and I think he plays it very much for laughs, while everyone else kind of goes a little bit more serious with it. So yeah, it's a little it's discombobulating, I think is probably a good way to describe it. But it's a fun old romp.
You didn't feel like your time had been stolen from you.
No, it is a little slow in the middle, but no, not that bad. Not that bad at all. It was fine. It was good enough. Other than that, what have I been doing? Loads of stuff, just loads of gaming. We've done a lot. I did a lot of hauling, as one is likely to do. I've done an awful lot of hauling, and then what else have I done? I played City Skylines for the first time last week. City Skylines 2, which is a it's
like SimCity, but for the year 2020s.
Yeah, it's come a long way because it had a really rocky start.
Okay.
It had a really rocky start, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was fun. That's been really, really fun, and I watch a lot of City Skylines content. I watch a fair amount of it, and I haven't played it, so I kind of did know what was going on. But it's it's just been fun. But then that and Elite has pretty much completely taken up my time. I've been playing some Baldur's Gate as well, because I'm still playing Baldur's Gate, but I've been playing some Baldur's Gate with Kremen and doing a little crazy monk and having some fun with that. But that's really been about it. Getting out once and going to the cinema just about took up my social battery of the entire week, and then most of the rest of it has been in the house doing video games and doing emails and stuff. There's so many emails. There's so many games and stuff coming out at the moment that there's an awful lot of emails. But it's been fun. Fun week. Chill week.
Excellent. Okay, Alec.
Yeah. Mixed week. Yeah, it was all right. I got the car's brakes fixed. The car's brakes went wrong, and then I got the car's brakes fixed, which went for a fantastic sort of breakfast walk on Saturday. So not that far from us is Chorley Wood, and there's like a sort of a village cricket green, I suppose. Chorley Wood Common, but it turns out I never knew this in all the years I've lived here, that it goes way back, and you can go for fantastic walks through the sort of woods and across the common for miles. There's a pub way on the far side, which we've now got earmarked for a pub lunch, but you can also go to this really nice cafe. So we did a walk and we had a nice cooked breakfast, which was ace. Loads of gardening. I actually, for the first time ever, managed to catch 2 whole minutes of Black Diamond FM on Sunday. It was great. Chris is an actual proper DJ. I really enjoyed the 2 minutes. It's just completely the wrong time for me to listen to. But yeah, it's good. I wish it was digital and I could watch it on catch up. Listen to it on catch up.
You can go to blackdiamondfm.com and listen to all of the shows.
They got archives. I'm sure I tried to do that before and I couldn't find them. Okay.
You definitely can. You can do that.
Maybe I need to poke around that website a bit more. I also watched on Saturday night. I watched Electric State, which I have to say I really enjoyed. Actually, I gather the critics have panned it, but it visually really caught my eye. I don't know the source material, but visually I thought it looked really interesting, and actually I found the film a lot of fun. I thought Chris Pratt was. I mean, a friend of mine quite rightly said he's kind of phoning it in, but it's fine. He was fine. There's some good comedy in it, and just a tick over 2 hours. I thought it was really enjoyable, and it visually looks stunning. I think it's got a really interesting kind of aesthetic to it. In game's been quite exciting. I literally had to kind of tear myself away from colonisation, but I really needed to get this buckyball race sorted, and I have sorted it. I have finished designing my race. I've test run it loads of times. I've made a little teaser trailer which I'll bung into Community Corner. Just today I finished doing the banner, so more about that later. But we have an actual goddamn flipping buckyball race to run.
Woohoo!
Coming soon. And I've done loads of colonisation, but I expect we'll do a roundup of what we've achieved, so I'll save it for then.
Lovely. Okay. Ben?
I've once again done precious little in way of gaming. Just excess of real life. I did watch Lilo and Stitch for the first time ever. So that was a thing, and I really enjoyed it.
You've never seen Lilo and Stitch
I have
before?
never seen Lilo and Stitch.
We're on about the proper
The
film.
proper cartoon recorded in the 90s somewhere.
I haven't either, and it's Chris's favourite film.
Well,
one of Chris's favourite.
Next you'll be saying you haven't seen The Emperor's New Groove. Come on.
Oh, I definitely haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Oh
Stitch is was one of my daughter's favourite characters.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
And I was like, well, we were picking films, and she won rock paper scissors, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch this. It turns out Stitch is one of her favourite characters, despite the fact she's never actually seen the bloody film.
That feels right.
Right, got you.
I have reached the conclusion that my daughter, despite having never seen the film, does actually base herself off of Lilo.
Right.
Even though she's never seen the film, I don't know how she did it, but she does. I really enjoyed it, and so did everybody else. So that's all good.
It is one of their better ones, yes.
Yeah. My experiments in Linux have been working fairly well. I've been playing. My limited gaming has been playing Forza Horizon, because that's what my son's currently really, really into. And it was on 50 or 60% off on Steam. So I was like, you know what? I don't mind paying 10, 15 quid for it. And so I went off and got that, and I'm getting very, very good frame rates on. I'm getting over 70, 80 frame rate on Ultimate at 4K, so I don't think I can complain about that.
Gotcha.
I did get T'other Space Game working in Linux as well, and that seems to run as well as it ever does. But that's been about the extent of my playing in that other space game. The only other gaming I've really done has been Horizon Forbidden West, because I actually want to finish that game. Unlike Dragon Age 3 or whatever it was, which I just couldn't. I should finish it. I need to finish it one time, but I just can't bring myself to finish the damn thing. And that's really been that's been about my week for this week.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Right. I guess couple of things. Usual work, obviously. Remember that mass amount of money that I spent fixing the bike off?
What's happened?
Pedal fell off.
No.
No.
While you were riding it?
Well, it wasn't for a day. I took it back to the shop that you put it on and went, oh dear, that wasn't supposed to happen. Turns out the pedal was faulty, and it basically screwed up the drive mechanism. So I've got a brand new drive mechanism out of that, even though took me a day at home, which I wasn't really expecting. Apart from that, I'm just cursed with that bike. I swear.
Yeah.
It hasn't killed me yet.
But it's tried.
It's only a matter of time at this point.
Yeah.
But it does feel like if that pedal had come off while I was in a really busy part of the road, I would have been toast.
Oh, especially at the speeds you normally cycle down at.
Pardon?
Especially at the speeds you can go up sometimes.
I don't go as fast. Normally, I get passed by people on electric scooters with it, and they're not wearing crash helmets.
Oh,
so,
I just remember you saying some of the times when you've been having your accident, and you described yourself as, I was bombing down this road and suddenly I hit a pothole and found myself flying 10 foot in the air.
Yeah, just
Which
to
would by a fair rate of momentum.
yes, well, just to make people aware, that pothole was actually hidden in a puddle. So I thought, oh, I'll just get through this puddle, and it was actually a 2 foot deep pothole.
Colin's
So
making excuses already, just to
Yeah,
let you
how
know.
dare they? How dare those
Fully
potholes
making excuses.
hide in puddles?
So yes.
Yeah, but your bike won't stall out if you're in a puddle. I can understand car drivers wanting to accelerate through puddles. You've got no excuse in a bike.
Right. Well, anyway, moving swiftly along. Well, I would be swiftly,
Like you
but I
did,
lost
like
the
in a
pedal.
puddle.
Yeah, my impression of Superman for about 30
Oh dear.
30 seconds. No, 5 seconds.
You'll believe Colin can fly.
I can't wait for that film, actually.
Oh no. Anyway, yes. Apart from that, yeah, it's just been complete and utter hauling. And hauling and hauling. I've either been hauling for myself or hauling for other people just to help them out with their stations.
Mhm.
And yes, I am. I don't know why I'm doing it because I'm tired of doing it.
I think a lot of
just need-
people are having that thought, Colin.
I just want one more run. I just
Yeah.
need one more run to help someone, or I need one more run. And yeah, we'll be talking about what we've built later, I suppose. So yeah. So yeah, I have achieved new things as far as that.
Yay!
The thing is, I've been also monitoring everything with the top shift. Top shift this time is running at about 1 hour 30 minutes.
Ooh. All right. God.
I know, but yes, just trying to get the whole hauling experience in.
All
I
in
think you're trying to
experience.
avoid the hole.
Yes. Right. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the development news of what's been happening. Well, first, highest and most important on the list, colonisation is back on.
Hooray!
Hooray! Yes, on Friday they switched it back on, saying that they've done a lot of work on it, and yes, they reserve the right to switch it off again if something goes bad again. So, if you want to colonize or start your own colony, or you're bored with the system that you've got, and you want to move on to the next one, you can now do that. So, yay! And moving on from that, they haven't finished, because Trailblazers Patch 2 comes tomorrow. Yeah. Now, there's been a couple of things in here. Anybody seen anything in there that they're looking forward to in this patch? Because I know Chris Mark 5 said there was something.
I guess I'm intrigued to see what third-party developers come up with now that they've put the API stuff in. The journal stuff is actually in this one.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh yeah. Do we want to have the odds for that?
No. Absolutely not. Let me scroll up. The bit where the system claimed unsuccessful errors found I thought was kind of interesting personally. That was the one thing that I saw today and I went, ooh. And then the further thing was the right at the other side of it, significantly improved capacity for server client information transfer relating to player colonized systems. So that I know why while this a lot of the stuttering and things that we're sort of saying or to do with data transfer are have been happening for a lot of people since Power Play. The fact that they're looking at server capacity and that kind of stuff gives me hope that those stutters will go away in the future.
Yeah, because those stutters have been. Yeah, I think they got taken by surprise at how many people took up Power Play and have taken up colonization. They didn't expect it to be that successful.
Yeah, the stuttering has got worse and worse, actually. And I saw an interesting thing. I had heard it before, and then I saw somebody saying it on one of Psychic's streams this week, and they're dead right. It happens at something like 5 past the hour.
Mm-hmm.
10
Yes.
past. There's certain minutes past the hour when it happens.
It's something 5 past the hour,
Yeah.
and I've only noticed it this week, and I only started like actually actively looking at it when I got the stutters. So actively looking at the time. Yesterday it was 5 past the hour. Pretty much every single hour. Pretty much, and today it was 15 minutes past the hour. People say 5, 15, 25, and 55. Apathis told me the other day that he got it at 35. So I genuinely do just believe it's at something 5 minutes past the hour. So I don't know.
Yeah, the one at 5 minutes was really noticeable. I had it about 3 times, and every time I looked at the clock, and it was like 5 and 18 seconds or something every single time. Really for a good sustained 10 seconds of really unpleasant stuttering.
Ben?
I guess this stuttering is technically a good thing, I guess, if it means that, hey, more people are doing things.
No, it's not a good thing.
No, it's a good thing because it means more people doing things. That's good.
Well,
the solution is obviously throw more servers at it, I'm assuming. Unless they find some way to optimize it. I'm hoping, though, that the financial math is working out with people buying more arcs versus just using servers more.
Yeah, I've noticed this quite bad. It affects my playing quite bad because normally I'm approaching something big and chunky at the time, and then all of a sudden everything stops. Or I've been attacked by. I'm actually discovering that I'm being attacked quite a lot by hauling cargo. And
it's not just Braven tunnels then.
No, it's not Braven tunnels.
No.
No, effectively you'll be driving along normally in space, then all of a sudden you'll get everything will go really sluggish, and the frame rate will bomb, and it'll go weird for about 5-10 seconds, and then it'll just pick up again.
Yeah.
In 15-ish minutes, we should notice maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it will depend. I genuinely fully expect it will depend. But if you do have a moment where you're sort of flying along and then you drop frames, just look at the time, and I guarantee you it will be. But don't have the frame monitor up because that doesn't matter. You will notice it. Now you've had it pointed out to you. You will notice it every time. But then look at the clock, and it will be 15:15, or it will be 5 past, or something like that.
It was really annoying because I was trying to make my sort of playthrough video of a buckyball run, and I just want that to be smooth, and I had to bin a couple. Like I'd be flying along and it'd be going well, and then dig, stutter, bollocks. So that's that video in the bin. Then back to the beginning, try again. The thing that Claire read out actually is my cause for concern from these patch notes, because although the first bit sounds really encouraging, improved capacity for server client information transfer, these are all good words, excellent, good.
Yeah.
And then they go on to qualify. They don't go on to qualify it and say this is to fix the stuttering. They go on to qualify it and say this is to prevent further instances of temporarily deactivating the colonization contact, which is like, oh, that's a shame. I thought you were working on the stuttering.
Yeah, but to me, also there's an element of, hey, we know that there are server issues. We know that there's like a connectivity issue there. So I don't know.
Yeah, this weekend, ever since the long server downtime on Thursday, it's not. It feels like the servers have not been happy. It seems like the hamsters are getting tired. Or even worse, they're getting hammered, which puts an awful image in your head.
It's been on a week-long bender.
At the Science Museum.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Finally, Steam sale. Elite is in the Steam sale, and it's cheap. So if you want to pick up Elite for a £5, £6 for Odyssey, 11 quid the whole lot.
What a bargain.
Can't complain about 11 quid, can you really?
If you haven't already picked up this game, A, why are you listening to this podcast? And B.
No, they're just listening in for our charming personalities.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Well. Anyway, so yeah, Steam sale. If you haven't got it, why not?
Get a second account, you know?
Oh God, I've got no. I'm not going to say how many I've got, which is just wrong. Okay, I think I'm going to hand over to Alec for the vast amount of community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Another crazy week. Got some good stuff. First up, I think we have mentioned it a few times, but I'm not sure we've ever put the link in the show notes. So here it is. It's Ian Doncaster's forum thread for science, basically sciencing colonisation, construction properties. The forum thread's called Development Level, figuring out what all these numbers do. And it's just kind of gathering information about construction properties, so things like security and tech level and standard of living and wealth and all that jazz, and what it actually means and what it does, and it links to things like Daft Mav's spreadsheet that we've pointed to a couple of weeks in a row. And so yeah, mostly discussive at the moment. I was just looking today, I kind of expected the OP of that forum thread to be growing with information, but it just seems to be one long discussion. But there's some good stuff in there. There's some good people in that forum thread discussing this stuff. Next, these are all over the place, these notes. They're in no particular order. Next, I missed this. About a month ago, there was one of these, and I completely forgot to shout it out, and another one's popped up. It's called Mint the Mighty's Phantom Explorers Monthly web magazine. So it's really nicely produced. It's like a sort of maybe 10-page illustrated Elite Dangerous sort of exploration themed magazine. This week's article has got this month's issue has got a 3 or 4 page feature on Distant Worlds 3. There's some sort of commanders stories in there. It reminds me of the old kind of Distant Worlds 3 magazine, or even something like Sagittarius Eye, but just kind of cut down. But yeah, it's really nice. Trying to figure out how to subscribe to that, because it looks like it's really good. Right, next up, this is madness. So I should have the dates for this, but I don't. But basically, much earlier in the week, or last week, Hutton Orbital was dethroned as the furthest station in the bubble. It was dethroned by a station called Omega, which declared itself to be the furthest station in the bubble with a supercruise distance of 7,200,920 light seconds. And we have a link to the announcement of that on Reddit. But wait, because no sooner had that happened than the Hutton truckers, who don't take kindly to Hutton Orbital being dethroned, colonized a system called Dabin Major, and they constructed a new outpost called Hutton Orbital, not to be confused with Hutton Orbital, which robustly reclaims the record for the most pointless journey in the galaxy, with a supercruise distance of 15,649,660 light seconds. And not only that, but about a day later, Commander Dizzy SMA set a new Hutton Run speed record, not to be confused with the Hutton Run speed record, of 0.51 light years in 1 hour, 43 minutes and 46 seconds.
I hate it here.
So all the links to all these Reddit threads will be in the show notes. But yes, so there are now 2 Hutton Orbitals, and one of them's a lot further than the other one.
Yeah, like that Commander Face guy saying, "Do we get 2 Anacondas then?"
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Give it a go. See if it works out.
Yeah, I'm not going yet. I like the fact that the speed record has gone back up into multi-hours, because frankly it was getting a bit easy to get to Hutton Orbital. But
I will freely admit I am going to Hutton Orbital as we speak.
Which one? Hutton Orbital or Hutton Orbital?
I'm going to Hutton Orbital.
Oh my god, I hate this.
Fucking naming convention, honestly.
And I'm going
it's
to
funny,
see
but it's also intensely irritating. Right, anyway, moving on.
Taxi to Hutton Orbital.
moving on from Hutton Orbital and Hutton Orbital. Distance World 3 is launching its first event. It's called the Shoulder of Orion, and it's a colonization event. I say event; it's more like a month. I find it a bit confusing in the forum thread because it gives it a start time and an end time, and then says it will run for a month. So I don't quite understand what's happening between those two times on the 30th, given that it's running for a month. But I guess there's a meetup, and then but what they're what they're basically trying to do is establish a launch point for Distant Worlds 3, and they're also, and I sort of like this, they're just trying to get everyone to get to know everyone else, so it's a nice early opportunity for everyone that's going on Distant Worlds 3 to have meetups and to become familiar with the crowd that they'll be exploring with next year, and take part in some kind of communal thing. So yeah, they'll be pushing. I forget the name of the system. It's all in the forum thread that we'll link. But they're going to be pushing out from the bubble to establish a launch point for DW3. Right, next. Incidentally, just talking about pushing out from the bubble, just a complete aside, but I did see again on one of the Psychic streams that some people have done some pretty mad things with colonization, haven't they? Like really started pushing out. Hasn't somebody got to the Polestar? Polaris.
Polaris, yeah. There's like the bubble's got this little bendy path that sort of comes out of it and then goes up. You can see it really well if you turn off like the unpopulated systems. You can see this path that's been made, and it's not just like one line of stars. It's like a thick path. I can't think of a better way to describe it. And I'm making hand gestures that you can't see, but they are obscene. But it's like this thick path that sort of like bends up, and it comes up to Polaris, and they're building off that. And then there's one which is being built that's like straight out of the top of the bubble going up as well. And there's like a few of them dotted around where people are getting together and making these little protrusions already. I'm trying to think of words which are suitable for making these little.
What we need, community, is are you listening, community? We need some really good visualizations of this. I mean, I know you can sort of see it in the galaxy map, but I would love to see some better visualizations.
Knop's come up with a good one. It's the hairy ball.
The hairy ball.
The hairy
yeah,
ball.
but it's not quite. There's even it's like that's a really long and thick hair to be a hairy ball.
What?
I know. I'm sorry.
The straight pube.
Jesus Christ. It's not even straight, it's bendy.
The kinky pube.
Is it like a bit of spaghetti coming out of
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think anything I say now is going to be bad.
Moving swiftly on.
Much so.
The next thing is superb. So I originally was going to include a video from Atlas Rand Gaming about, in fact, I will include the link to that. It's a 25-minute video, sort of hints and tips about colonization. But basically, the entire video is about a little web site that Nowski has developed. It's kind of along similar lines to the spreadsheet from Darth Mav that we featured last week. So it's got all the stats on all the different things you can build in colonization and what points they need, consume, and what points they produce, and all the dependencies and what kind of negative or positive effects they have on wealth and population and all that stuff. But Nowski's site is basically, I've been using it today to sort of plan my system, but you've got the list of all the things you can build, and all the dependencies are built into it. So you just sort of tick the thing you've built, for example, and it adds up all the points. And then there's a little box you can tick which is can build, and if you tick that, then it only shows you the things you can build with the points you have. So you can literally sort of plan out your build, and you get to a point where you can't build anything because you don't have enough points to build anything at tier 2 or tier 3 or and you can export your build and you can re-import it. So I've now got a saved version of my current colonization, which I'm gonna I'm absolutely using it. I'm planning ahead now. We'll come on to this more later, but this is a brilliant little tool for doing that.
Yeah, I got you. You sent us a message on this saying that I'm including this in the show notes,
Mm.
and I grabbed hold of this website at lunchtime, and I wasted my lunch hour just going through and playing with it, and I've got my whole system planned now. It's
Same.
going it's going to be 700 million tons that I'm going to need to haul, but that's the system I want thanks to this thing.
Yeah, same.
Really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's really neat. It's not quite as comprehensive as the spreadsheet. I mean, the spreadsheet has got a huge amount of detail, but I do find that spreadsheet pretty overwhelming. Whereas this, I can wrap my head around pretty easily. One thing to say about Darth Mav's spreadsheet, he did do an update, and it is really comprehensive now. And one thing you can do is he's set it up so that you can take your own copy of the spreadsheet, and then there are separate sheets within it that are basically planner sheets. So you can take a copy of it and then do similar to what this website is doing and plan out your builds and save them in your own copy of that spreadsheet. And it is a lot more detailed because it has all the individual material requirements rather than just one big number. But
Has Nowski said anything about expanding their app to give more details and more options as and when?
I don't know. I'm not sure that I want it more detailed. Funnily enough, Nowski was actually in Ian Doncaster's forum thread. So I did make one little request, which is so the numbers that this gives you it just gives you a single number of how many commodities you need to shift to achieve your thing. I thought it'd be quite nice if you could tick off. So you add the list, you add all the things that you're going to add, you're going to build in your system in basically in order, in sequence. And I thought it'd be quite nice if you could tick off the ones that you've actually finished.
Yes.
So that it at least deducts those quantities from what's left. It doesn't deal with partials, so there's no way to sort of say I've half delivered these. But if you could sort of tick off the ones that you'd actually done, that'd be quite a nice little feature. I don't know. I don't know how much. It's really good as is, and I don't necessarily want it to get more complicated because I certainly find that spreadsheet a bit overwhelming. But this is lovely. I can sort of at a glance see what's going on here.
Yeah, I was this very morning. I was there saying, you know what we really need? We need a tool like Etsy so to plan out our um, our systems. And then lo and behold, by lunchtime there is one. So,
It is quite scary. It does add up because although individual things, and we've talked about sort of the materials it takes to build like a Coriolis or something versus an outpost, but the fact you kind of need 3 of one to get enough tier 3 points to build one of the other, and then that really adds up because that means if you've got your eye on an Oculus, it's not just the Oculus, it's the 3 other things that you need to build the Oculus and the 6 other things you need to build those 3 other things. So it's more, it's a whole stack. It's a whole deck of cards. I mean, it's not the thing on top. It's the cost of the entire deck that gets a bit mind blowing.
yeah, I think the way I worked it is I suddenly realized that in order to shift the amount of materials that I will need for my system, it will probably take me a year to build it.
Yeah. My plans have got a bit more long term now.
So yeah.
Anyway, onwards. Speaking of cool things for helping with your colonization, I nearly linked to this last week, but there's a Reddit post again from Darth Mav, and it just shows visually all the different settlement layouts. So if, like me, you've got your eye more on what things maybe look like than how many whatever points they add, which I almost don't care about at all. I'm sure I regret it when I end up with an anarchy system that only sells bio waste, but at the moment I'm kind of not really paying much attention to all those other numbers. But I do care what stuff looks like. And Darth Mav's got a nice index of every single settlement with pictures of what and landing pad sizes of, so you can see what the thing you're going to pick is actually going to end up looking like. And it also links to Quiz Engine's beautiful Odyssey layouts website. which is another great resource for working out what these things are going to look like. I'd like to see more, actually. I'd like to see better images of what the outposts and installations and things all look like as well, because I'm very visually based on mine.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Right, complete change of subject. I caught a very random video today, but it turned out to be really quite interesting. It's by Captive Griffin, and it's called A Notable Stellar Phenomena Bubble in Elite Dangerous Odyssey. So basically, they've been out on an exploration trip, and they found I don't know how big the sort of bubble is, but they had found an entire bubble of black holes out there. And not only that, but many of the black hole systems have large numbers of notable stellar phenomena, those fantastic little local nebula with sort of, the little, what are they called? The little animals that squirt around inside those clouds, like, not amoebas, that's the wrong word. Ammonites, can't remember. Anyway,
Something
but
like
yeah,
that.
so far he's surveyed just shy of 700 black hole systems in this area, 400 of which have notable stellar phenomena,
Wow.
and a total of 738 notable stellar phenomena sites, which is incredible. Apparently, they actually contacted Frontier when they started realizing that, the sheer quantity, and said, "Is this a bug?" And were reassured that no, it's just one of the things of the sort of random procedural nature of the galaxies. We've ended up with this farm of black holes and notable stellar phenomena. So yeah, if you want to know more, then watch this video, because I can
Alec,
imagine if you...
the things squirting around are called mollusks, according to
That's the
Terraform.
word. Thank you. Mollusks, yes. So yeah, if you like your mollusks, then check out this video by Captive Griffin. It's good stuff. Speaking of good videos, Protocops is back. We haven't seen a video from Protocops for a while, but they've come back with another lovely video called Wanderer in their usual fantastic visual and musical style, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And last of all, I've just got the buckyball news that I mentioned earlier on. So my race is going to be called Time and Motion Study. It will, I'm going to say now, it was a bit tentative, but I'm pretty much settled on this now. It's going to run from the 28th of March until the 7th of April. So it's the usual Friday to Monday. On the face of it, it's a pretty classic, simple buckyball race. So I might change the stations. There is a video which I've made, which I'll include in the show notes. I'm still toying about maybe changing a couple of the stops, but basically you take off from somewhere and you fly to 4 or 5 other places, and then fly back to finish. There's no trading, there's no bonuses, there's no overheating or going through tunnels. It's a real classic, just get your buckyball juices flowing in a nice sort of, kick the year off. But there is a twist. I'm sure we've done this in a race before many years ago. I wish I could find it. I keep looking for it and can't find it, because I'd like to credit the person who originally came up with the idea. But the principle is this, that before you're about to launch on your run, you post in local chat how long you think it's going to take you. So let's suppose you reckon you can do it in 20 minutes exactly. So you type 20:00 in local chat, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. So your launch screenshot has the time you took off, and in the local chat you can still see your predicted time. When you finish, if you are faster than your predicted time, you only get your predicted time. But if you are slower than your predicted time, then the difference is added twice. So if I reckon I can do it in 20, and I actually do it in 19 minutes, then my score is 20. If I say I can do it in 20, and it actually takes me 21 minutes, then my
When your
final
score's
score will be 22.
Oh, that's
Yes.
so dope. I love that so much.
So you want to set yourself a fast time, because that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
but you will be penalised if you can't meet up to your expectations of what you're able to achieve.
Alec, you're evil. You do know that.
That's so good.
That is, yeah, I'm with Ben. That is just so evil.
I
It's
love
fun.
it.
It's fun. I've done a few runs. You need to do a couple of runs, obviously, to sort of establish in the first place what sort of times you're looking at. It will be really interesting because what will happen is Shay Blackwood or someone, will come along and post a really fast time. And of course, to beat them, you would need to post a time faster. But you have to be honest with yourself and know that you're not going to get that. So you have to be realistic about your expectations.
I'm just going to put an hour every time and then just like, fuck it. It's fine.
Yeah, but that's all you'll get. That's the trouble.
Yeah,
You
that's
do
fine
need
with me.
So does Shay have to provide evidence that he was at... I suppose he has to provide evidence.
Yeah,
somehow.
that's how
It's in the screenshot.
Yeah.
it's in the screenshot.
I like the idea of Shay's actual time only being available to the admins. I know that's not how Blocky Ball works, though.
That is true. Yes, nobody will know his actual time. They will only know on the leaderboard. You will only see. Well, I might put the actual time.
So a question for you, and one that I've literally just said. What's to stop everyone? Because you get no negative thing for going over, right? For example, you get no negative thing for staying under.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, you do.
What's the negative?
If you go faster than your
time, you get your time.
You only get your predicted time.
So what's to stop everyone from just doing an hour and just getting the time? Or do you have to...
Because they'll only get an hour.
Oh, right. Okay, so you have to get your predicted time. So it doesn't matter what your time is in the end of it. You just have to get your predicted time. Less than your predicted time, right?
If you're too fast...
Uh-huh.
You get your predicted time.
Right, okay, yeah, that's fine. Sorry,
If you're
I got
too
confused.
slow, you're penalised.
I thought you just get your time, the time that you did, rather than... Okay, that makes sense.
If I guess I'm going to take an hour, but I do it in 15 minutes...
And I do it in 15 minutes, I get an hour. Yeah, okay, I get it now. I get it. My apologies. The woman got confused. My apologies.
Don't worry, it's not just you getting confused. It took me a few...
Yeah, it took me a moment.
Yeah, you have to think about it, because I had to think about it. I think, does this work? But it does work. It does work. It's good.
Right, yeah, no, it does work. It definitely does work. Because then I can predict 25 minutes and do it in like 24 minutes and 3 seconds or something. And then I get 25 minutes.
As Shay correctly says in the chat, it will suck if you're much faster than your predicted time.
I love that.
Well,
but then you
faster.
Can make another... then you could go and predict 15 minutes and do it in 14 minutes or something.
And it kind of rules out... I don't know if I like this or not. Some people won't like this. It does kind of rule out the lucky run. Sometimes you get a run and it's just fast. You don't even really understand why. Well, that's what Shay's saying. It'll be much faster than your predicted time, and you won't benefit from it.
I know, and that's the problem, because I rely on the lucky run.
So you've got to be consistent. Really, it favours. Sorry.
So I was asking if there was a forum thread for it yet.
Not yet. I'll do that next week. I'll post that with all the rules early next week. Cool. For now, there's a video. For now, there's just a video.
Excellent.
Right, and that is it. That is the end of this week's community news.
Excellent. So if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it across the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio, or Blue Sky the crew at Lave Radio, or email info@laveradio.com, or Alec will probably just find you anyway. So, the in-game events, what has been happening this week? Well, there's only really been one entry, and that's been which was ironically posted the day before colonisation was switched back on again. It said, the new era of system colonisation has been hailed as a success. And, a lot of nice bump telling about it. And then they gave the figures, which I thought were mind-bending.
Mm-hmm.
So, 26,684 claims have been made, of which 13,165 systems have actually been colonized, There are 24,037 new starports and outposts which have been built. 14,216 surface installations have been established. I don't know whether that means built or whether or not they've just been placed, because everyone loves a racetrack. And in total, 983,599,593 units of cargo have been delivered to various construction sites. Bonkers.
That's a lot of that's a lot of hauling.
That's a lot of hauling steel.
Hauling steel.
There we go.
Jeez. That's a huge amount. It's not even just steel. It's like just the amount of claims. The sheer amount of claims is bonkers.
I know.
Whoa, people. Whoa.
So yeah, and it's reflected on a whole load of other things as well, because you can see it in the Steam charts and well, the figures have stayed above 10,000 for the last week and a half, so it's still keeping people's interest.
Yeah. Another interesting thing I heard the other week was I was chatting to a friend, and we sort of colonized our first system sort of at exactly the same time and helped out and stuff. And they were looking to colonize a second system, after it got turned back on. And I think basically they were colonizing inside the bubble rather than at the edge of the bubble. So and basically said they'd all gone. like the systems inside the bubble, I believe, have more or less all gone.
If you look around Seoul, if you look around like Seoul and Shindes, and you're looking quite close, everything is pink now. There's no whites whatsoever. You have to go a little bit further out to see them, but there are still effectively some on the very outskirts, but people it's brilliant. It's so good. I'm so chuffed.
Yeah, it is interesting to watch. It's just, I think my only concern is, are we going a bit too fast? But obviously everybody
slow
wants
down.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
I'm wondering if people are slowing down, or is that rate maintaining?
Yeah.
And I noticed it when I was flying out to Hudson Orbital. Everywhere now is system population 5,000. And I was like, oh, I wish they could have done it so it's like 5,000 plus or minus 10% or something.
Oh, is it always 5,000? That's a shame.
One of mine is 5,740.
Okay, so it does eventually.
It will change.
It
I
does
think.
adjust.
Yeah.
It does adjust with the more things that you put in.
Yeah, I hope it adjusts over time as well, because it's like, hey, congratulations, you've got a colony ship of 5,000 people and only 5,000 people.
No, I'm sure
Didn't they have any babies en route?
Well, the other thing is, of course, if we're at the edge of and this is the problem that I've been suffering from, if you're on the edge of the bubble, it's further to go to get a decent refinery where you get the vast majority of your stuff from. And I'm helping N Wiley out with his thing at the moment, and that is a 5-minute turnaround for each trip to help him out, as opposed to a 20-minute turnaround for my own station. So
I mean, this is why you want to do it methodically, I guess. If you're actually going for it, and can you build refineries and things like that en route, and you actually want to build it up, don't you?
Yeah,
rather than go on a mad dash in a straight line.
Yeah, you will need that support infrastructure. Otherwise, it will take longer and longer to do. And go on, Mark. Go on.
I was just going to say, because I just saw Profane Pagan asking this in chat, we sort of skipped over this because it was in the patch notes for the update that's coming on Wednesday. But the Brewer megaships are being deployed on Wednesday, so there will be 5 of these. What I'm really intrigued to see is I really hope they have a flight plan and that they jump every week to, go around a circle of 5 different systems. Because otherwise, I think I said it last week, some people are going to get lucky and they're going to have a Brewer megaship right next to where they're colonizing, and other people are going to have to go 5 jumps to get to the nearest one. So
Well, I hope that route actually changes over time as well as the bubble itself changes.
yeah, that'll be interesting, isn't it? Because normally those mega ships are locked into their
Yeah.
4 or 5 stops that they rotate through.
But
Yeah.
it does mean more work on Frontier's behalf to maintain that updating route.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where they're going to be.
Yeah. So we will move away from colonization and we'll touch on the power play rankings. Well, in an interesting week, we have still Torval at 12, but she has gained 3 systems. In 11th place, we have Winters, who has gained a single system. In 10th, there's no move for Delaney, but he has gained 2 systems. Kane, again, has gained another 2 systems, catching slowly on Petraeus, who's in 8th, but only gained 1 system. Antal has gained 2 in 7th place, but Archer, and he's beginning to catch Archer in 6th, who has only gained 1 system. Lee Young-Roo has gained 7 systems this week, with Grom in 4th gaining 3. The Emperor has taken Emperorissa has taken a hit. She has lost 1 system this week. In 2nd place, Aisling has taken a major tumble with losing another 3 systems. And Mahan powers on ahead by gaining 9 systems to a total of 1,445. So that's your power play standings this week.
Mahomes unstoppable.
It's phenomenal. I thought Aisling was going to catch him, and the thing was that no.
Yeah.
Turns out no.
It's like, oh, I'm letting you get close. I'm letting you get close. Now I'll put the pedal down. You know. So well done to the Mahan group who are very well organised. A little bit shocked that Arissa has fallen behind, so I'm going to have to pull my finger out and stop helping people and start helping the Emperor now. So yes,
you're gonna have to stop hauling.
I'm going to have to stop hauling for a bit. I'm going to have to do.
You're going to have to haul other things instead.
I'm going to have to do some sign hacking and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. As usual, none of the places have changed. The number of number of systems, the gaps between them are far too big. It's going to be quite a while before we see anything change, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little bit disappointed about that because I was expecting it to be a bit more of an ebb and flow.
The way that Frontier sold it was like there was lots of hand movements that looked all ebby and flowy and that kind of thing. And we're gonna see it all change and lots of wavy arms, and that's not really come to fruition. So
what do you mean by that, Colin? What do you mean by that, Colin? Are these areas that the powers have got not really bumping up against each other?
There's a couple of. Mostly in the imperial sectors, there seems to be a lot more. Although one of the things that I think I have noticed is that there's a lot of. I think this is where colonization is beginning to kick in, because there's an awful lot of colonization around Mahan's sector, and he in the last week he's just been able to move into all these new systems. So he's able to. Pardon?
It's interesting.
Yeah. So he's kind of he's now got an extra player field available to him, while all the others are bumping up against each other.
It does seem like that's the way to go. I mean, okay, so there'll be a lag of 2 or 3 weeks before they start to come in, but once that happens, then, as I said last week, that people should be able to grab several systems every week, just moving out down these colonization lines, I'd have thought.
Yeah. I mean, Lee Young-Roo has done spectacularly well over the last couple of weeks, but he's still 200 systems short of catching Grom, who's in 4th. So you don't see anything changing in the next 6 months to a year, to be honest. the more exciting stuff is you got Antal and Archer. They're having a bit of a scrap because Archer originally overtook Antal, and now Antal's beginning to claw his way back. But anything interesting all seems to be happening at the bottom. So a bit like the F1 at the moment.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it is that time of the week again.
Store alert!
In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your
Well, on Thursday, we got something we all wanted. Well, a lot of people wanted. The chrome and gold paint jobs have arrived for the Cobra Mark V, the Type 8, the Mandalay, and the Python Mark II. These are the shiny ones. These are the ones which reflect the stations and the stars around you, as opposed to the chromed and the gold N, which don't. So
it's all confusing.
Cheers for that really simple naming strategy. I really appreciate it.
We had some good ideas in our notes for if Frontier are looking. We could have maybe goldish and chromy.
Yeah, for the next level of shininess, if you like.
Yeah, or not. Sort of even more brushed. The goldish is even more brushed than the golden.
No, let's not complicate it.
Yeah. And I hate to say this, but I have succumbed. They are 10,000 arcs each, so they are a little bit pricey. It's about $5. I fell for it. I went and got 3 of them.
Oh wow!
That's 2 station names.
Cobra Mandalay and what was your third?
Yeah, Mandalay, Cobra Mark V, and the Python Mark II.
Right.
So
okay.
they're all chrome. Because I can't stand. Did anyone see what someone had posted about the Type 8? They just posted a picture of a gold bar.
It's harsh. But I know what you mean, actually. Type 8 doesn't really, I'm not sure it suits the chrome. It suits the big yellow. And I've got mine as the sort of classic yellow,
ACB digger.
ACB digger kind of, yeah. And it looks good in that.
Every time I look at the Type 8, I'm there thinking that's a Vogon ship.
I love it. I like my Type 8.
I really like the Type 8.
So what I do with colonisation is I use my cutter, but it's such a beast to fly. It's just such a tug. And then when my numbers get down to like 100 of this and 100 of that, I switch into my Type 8, and it's such a joy to fly after the cutter.
Refreshing.
I believe it 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, will anybody else be purchasing these?
Probably not.
I'm really torn. Like a chrome Mandalay was my absolute dream. When the Mandalay first came out, and round about the time they relaunched the chrome, I think I even made a fuss a couple of weeks in a row, going, "I thought you said there'd be, it was my dream." But in the meantime, I splashed out on chrome for quite a few other ships, and I almost had my fill of it. I'm not sure I want my entire fleet in chrome.
You've overchromed.
I've overchromed, yeah.
Yeah, dear. Well, you see, there is the other thing about using arcs to rename your stations, and I guess we'll touch on that next.
I'm just thinking, instead of installing a chrome paint job, why can't we just go and employ somebody to scrub off all the paint off our ships?
I don't know that the Mandalay chrome looks good.
Ooh.
I don't know that it. I mean, there's so many different like bumps and stuff along the top of it. I like for me, the any chrome paint job really sells itself when it's really smooth. Like, it looks really good on the Anaconda. I hate the Anaconda. But it looks good on the Anaconda because there's such a smooth surface to it. I don't know, and like I think it looks good on an FDL as well, because I think FDL is kind of ambers. But I just think the Mandalay, it looks a bit. It looks like someone's taken a hammer to it a little tiny bit. And I don't know if I'm tempted by it. I just saw it on the stream. Then there's a lot of different reflective surfaces, and it's like there's too much going on, kind of thing, for me at least.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean, because I look at the Cobra Mark V Chrome and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I bet that looks really good, because it's got big flat surfaces and
It's just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea.
Not my tempo.
Cups of tea are available.
So yes, there is the store alert. Was there something else that someone wanted to mention? Oh yes,
drops are back. Frontier have, if you got the drops before, Frontier have managed to sort it out. So, like there were definitely problems with the drops. So if you did manage to get those 4 like purple and orange FedEx style drops, you should have them in your game now. If you didn't manage to get them before, they went back on this evening at 7, and they're going to remain on, I believe, I want to say until the 18th of April. I think they've extended it a little bit as well.
Just in time for Lave Radio.
Just in time for Lave Radio. But it's the red, the orange. Sorry, say that again.
Is this the turbulent stuff?
I can't remember what they're called, but they're the orange and purple ones for the cargo haulers. Those ones. They're back.
Sorry, the Jinx Effect has just posted in chat. Has anyone got the image of Father Ted trying to get a dent out of his Amandalay with a hammer right now?
Yeah, it is turbulence. Yeah, sorry.
If you haven't seen that, then yeah. I apologise. Anyway, we will take an ad break, and we will come back with our main discussion.
New from Azimuth Biotech, it's Tickle Me Thargoid. Tickle Me Thargoid is fun for all the family. Teach your little anti-Xeno commander the difference between an Orthrus and a Cyclops, a Basilisk and a Medusa.
Count the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Cyclops.
Teach them their weakness and how to exploit them.
Now rip out the hearts. One by one. I don't want to.
Do it. Using the tool. Do it. Now stomp on its face. Smash its face in.
I've got them.
Tickle Me Thargoid. Available now from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers.
Protecting settlements from villainous scum, it's Settlement Patrolman. The action figure every child wants. Wearing the all-new Manticore Dominator suit with light-up jump assist thrusters. Press his backpack to hear Settlement Patrolman speak.
Not seen you around here before, Commander. Is that a Karma P15 in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? Hey, don't point that at me.
When alarms sound, Settlement Patrolman rides into action in his surface reconnaissance vehicle with pop-up turret and glow-in-the-dark wheel trims. Settlement Patrolman.
Surface reconnaissance vehicle and action figure sold separately. Available from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers. Microelectrode, ion battery, and circuit switch not included.
Space is vast, and pirates have needs just like anyone else. Introducing the Lonely Pirate Handbook, the ultimate resource for lonely pirates. Our guide covers the hot spots and not spots of interstellar space, from smugglers' dens to space station taverns, with helpful chapters such as how to be presentable in polite society, how to get rid of that nefarious rank, and my favorite, occasionally shower. Are your early advances often mistaken for attempts to rob or plunder?
Oh, I've come a long way for what's in your hold. Prepare to be boarded.
Frameshift charge detected.
Oh.
Buy today and receive the Lonely Pirates Chat-Up Guide for free.
I've got a very large hard point. Would you like to see my very large hard point?
You're so hot. You're making my temperature critical.
Lower your shields. I want to inspect the goods.
Come back to my place. I might let you touch my A-rated anaconda.
Are you smuggling illegal goods? Because you've got fine written all over you.
The Lonely Pirates Handbook. Now available in all Anarchy bookstores. We'll teach you to loot anyone's heart.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, from Harry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
And welcome back. So, the main discussion, we're going to break it down into a few sections tonight. The first question we've got, really, and I'm going to go around the crew that have been colonising, just to ask how they're progressing. So, we'll start with Psychit.
Hello.
Hello. How have you managed?
Really well. It's been going really well. So I've still got my two systems. So one is just sort of like sat there at the moment. We flipped it so that our that the faction that we support are now the controllers of that faction. So of that system. So if you want to build off of that, you can buy, and it will be the faction that we support in there. That's was one of our main things. That was one of the main intentions that we have. But I've been concentrating on the other one, which is kind of weird. I shouldn't really have been doing it, but I've been concentrating on this other one, looking to turn it into sort of an like a colony tourism kind of space, because it just felt like fun. But I've made I made the original outpost, and then I made there is a satellite, because you have to have a satellite before you make a tourism base. So I made the satellite, then I made 2 tourism bases. And then I had that same bug that you had, Colin, where I made the tourism base, and when I finished the tourism base, it didn't flip. So it wasn't the the right. It didn't show me that I had a colonization point. So I went, oh, okay. Well, I'll make a planetary base or something because that doesn't cost anything. And over the last 2 days, we've built this planetary base, and I haven't spent any money on arcs. I will tell you on arcs to name these stations, but let me tell you these stations that are in this thing. I forget the name of one of them, but I know it's around this. Let me tell you that the first one we got was Beer Depot. Great name, cracking name, love it. The
Don't need to
next
change
one.
that.
Definitely don't need to change that. The next one is Shepherd Falls. Don't need to change that. I'm fine with that. Thank you kindly.
Yeah.
That'll do. The thingy, the satellite is Moon something now, and I can't remember what it is because I rechanged it, and it just makes me laugh every time I see it because it's no moon. And then we have Darspar, which makes me laugh because it rhymes, and I'm simple. We have Darspar, and then finally, I rolled Pink Vision. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
I haven't had to spend any arcs, and it's brilliant. The whole place is great. So the next one, I really like. I will probably end up off stream at some point, clicking through until I get Anderson something as a station. I'm fingers crossed that Anderson is in there somewhere. I'm prepared to re-roll an awful lot of times. For the amount of times it will probably take me to make 5,000 arcs just by playing the game, I'm prepared to re-roll. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm a little bit bored of it now. Not bored. Bored is the wrong word. I'm a little bit like, hey, maybe I might have a look and see what my weeklies are doing. That's kind of my thought. Maybe I'll just dip into a weekly and then go back and do some more, because I got to the point towards the end of doing Pink Vision that I was like, I'm done. I'm done for a little bit. I need to calm down, you know.
Yeah, and then that tool comes out earlier where you go, so I can start planning now, and then oh god, yes. Chris Mark 4, is that really the name of one of your stations?
That is the name of my satellite, and I am not re-rolling it. I am keeping it.
Would you like to share with the group?
I have got a satellite that I need for my tourist settlement to get built, and it is called Hiscock Legacy.
So you need Anbul's vision.
His balls below orbital or something, yes.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I finished the Legacy last night, and it does have lots of those tunnels in it, Alec, for you to fly through. So you know.
Yeah, I put a tunnel one in it. It's cool.
You can fly. Yeah. Yes.
You can fly through the Legacy. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You want to throw through the lake? No, I'm not even going to, because it's just too obvious. Right, Alec.
Yeah.
Top that.
Yeah. So, well, I can't. Not on the naming anyway. I've been paying for all mine, and I feel cheated now. It's quite funny. On Saturday, I noticed that the in the Burr Pit, they do sort of events occasionally, big community events, and the Burrs took 50, no less than 50 commanders in an instance to visit my Devil's Tower.
Oh,
So
cool.
there's some lovely screenshots of that doing the rounds. I think everyone was in a Mandalay as well, so it's quite spectacular. Yeah. So I finished. What have I done? I have, because I've been doing this buckyball race planning thing, so I tore myself away, and also I did go back and do. Oh, having made the time trial for my unfinished container yard, I did some racing around that. So I have had some breaks. I do recommend taking some breaks after that initial glorious stint of colonization hauling. It does get a bit much. So, and it's lovely because it will always be there, and I don't know, it's nice now. I've got long-term plans, but so yeah, I finished building that. I built. So I finally started paying attention to like the requisites and what I ought to, planning it a bit more. So I have built a satellite like a lot of other people, so I can do some touristy stuff. So I built a satellite and I renamed that to Joanne's Lantern. And then what have I done building this out? Oh, yes. So what I'm now doing is, if you look on some of those sort of spreadsheets and things, there's about 5 large settlements of different varieties which you can build, which each reward you with 2 tier 3 points. So they're considered like the best bang for the buck if you can get those. So I'm looking at where to place those, and what I've spotted is that my system has a couple of planets that have silicate vapor geysers. And I would very much like to have geysers, if not literally coming up through the floor of my settlement, then at least coming very close to it. So I'm trying to. So I'm currently. I've spent almost the entire morning today just flying around low altitude on one of my planets, looking for. I'm looking for a. Sometimes you get those complete fields of vapor of geysers almost as far as the eye can see. I want to find something like that so I can plonk my settlement right in the middle of it and see what happens.
Excellent. Oh, that would be phenomenal to see.
Yeah.
I've built a farm.
Nice.
Yes.
So,
pretty much. I decided that I wasn't happy with the quality of life in my system, and so I built a farm, and I'm now planning out the next couple of things. The funny thing, I have put in for my station to be renamed, so you can dock at wecrushanyadder.com. Whenever you feel like it. So I don't know when that takes place because I thought it was the next day, but it's obviously, I think, the tick, isn't it?
All of my stuff.
Yeah, mine's updated straight away.
Yeah. So, and I heard Jay and Tracks on Loose Screws sort of ran into this, and I was screaming at my screaming at my iPod, relog, because my experience has been that when you do the rename, the name in things like ship menus and I guess the map screens changes instantly, and names that are literally painted on the outside of stations, those just need a relog. But I haven't. But yes, that's
I
been
wonder
my
if Collins
experience.
is too close to a copyright.
No, mine said mine was absolutely fine. It said it's valid, so I went, yep, accept. They took my arcs, and it hasn't updated.
Well, that's what I'm wondering if everyone else's is going through like that. Has yours been flagged for at least human review?
Maybe they thought, oh, he's crushing adders. That's going to be a threat.
Realistically, though, the .com moment of it might be an issue. I don't want to go crazy here, but that might be it.
Yeah, that they might think, oh god, have they started putting?
That would be quite cunning, though, wouldn't it? www.hiscocklegacy.com.
Hey, register that domain right now.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm quite happy with what's been happening so far. I think it's a case of I build something and then I think I need to take a break after I build something, because otherwise it will drive you away, because you'll just end up doing that one thing. And that's the one thing with Elite. If you do one thing too much, then it becomes a grind.
Yeah,
and there's so much works for some people, though.
Well, yeah, it works for some people, but I think both you and I have both said, no, we need to take a break.
You do you, and it's fine.
Yeah, and I'm happy to slow down and do racing. There was one other thing about mine that I really wanted to mention. It happened today, and it was, I don't know, it was so exciting. I thought it was sort of a bit of a wow moment. So what I have been doing, I don't yet have my fleet carrier, although I can now technically afford one. I think what I've been quite enjoying doing is, if I've got to get my 2000 steel or whatever, is basically getting ED Copilot to tell me where I can go to get some, and then kind of deliberately going to different places on each run, because you just get to see so many different settlements and stations, and you know what Elite's like. You always come across some real beauties. So I've been, using it as an excuse. Anyway, one of the places I went to get stuff to build my colonization system today was somebody else's colonization system. And I just thought that was rather beautiful, that a system that somebody else has colonized is now supplying me the materials to colonize my system.
And this is what I like. But if Colin, say, builds his asteroid mining base or whatever,
Yeah.
and has that out in the sticks, then will Colin gain financially from everyone flocking to him to get their resources?
No.
But not directly related to the purchases. But you will start to earn a passive income, right?
Yeah. I earned about 20 grand from
yeah.
from just one station.
Same.
Yeah, it would be nice if I assume if you build resources what people want, you do get reward for it.
Yeah. The problem is we're talking about server load. And that's the massive server load for something that doesn't even have a purchasing. And does purchasing at the moment have is there something? There's a problem with journal entries when it comes to purchasing and handing stuff in at the moment, isn't there? I don't know. There might be. I've lost what's in the journal and what isn't now.
Yeah.
There's one other quick thing, actually. Sorry.
Go on.
Just on naming is I've been very pro naming, and I've named my systems, and I love that we can, naming after loved ones or things that mean a lot to us. Is great. But I did spot a forum thread, and somebody listed a couple of examples that I actually found kind of quite offensive, and I was like, really? So I hadn't done this before. I went to Inara, and you can search for all your lovely named systems in Inara if you get the you get the words right. So I did put in a few words that I found sort of mildly offensive, and yeah, unsurprisingly, perhaps slightly surprisingly to me, but yeah, it is happening.
Can we fly to Scunthorpe?
No, but you can. Let's give an example. Sorry, everyone. You can fly to retards outpost or whatever.
I hate that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you do wish that the profanity filter had been a little bit more on the ball.
Yeah, so it's a shame because the positives are lovely. I've loved naming my stuff, but as predicted, people will spend, it turns out, 5,000 arcs to do something pretty sucky.
Right. Just on the off chance, I just went onto Inara and searched for that word.
Yep.
And I can't see any there. The only thing I can see is a fleet carrier.
Interesting. There were about
with that
3,
name.
so maybe they have been taken down.
Hopefully, maybe it's been taken down. That's what I'm.
There's one. There's one. Type the word singular, and it will come up with a station.
That is a fleet carrier.
Oh, because the letters. Yep, you're quite right.
Yep.
There were more. There were more. So okay, they have been taken down. Good.
Excellent. That's there are quite a few people, according to Evil Son. They say that a lot of people are renaming their station Raxler, which
yeah.
Oh really? How original.
Cool.
All I can say is I hope that people who name their stations offensive things lose their money.
100%.
Yeah,
or
why
lose
not?
their arcs. I really hope they do.
100%. Lose your arcs. Also, hey, you know what? Lose access to the game. Have to buy a new game. That works for me. That works for me.
Yeah.
Preferably also get yeeted into the sea. Thank you. I don't think Frontier have the ability to do that, but you know.
Right. Well, we'll move on from there before we even get more het up. So now, good news is next month we get a new ship.
Yes.
We've got the Corsair, which is implied to be the last medium ship that we'll have for a while. It is an Imperial multi-role vessel. So just quickly go around the crew, see what they what do you think of it, as in looks wise, to start with?
I'll go first to fill that silence. I actually really like it. I love it. I think its big hooked flamingo nose. I find that really interesting. I was thinking about this, and like, it'd be very easy to design a ship which was like the ultimate streamlined, pointed, I don't know,
Pointy thing,
fast-looking
yeah.
thing, and it would have no character. And I just think this is a fantastic design. It just has so much character because of that big curved nose. I think it's a bold move to do that, but it really gives it a character. I like it a lot. I think I would definitely get one, and I'm really intrigued by how fast it will go given the flipping
Yeah.
thrusters they put on it.
Yeah, the thrusters on it are mental. So it'll looks like a fish, moves fast as a fish, steers like a cow.
Yeah,
You never
quite
know.
possibly. You never know.
Yeah. What about everybody else on looks? You liking it?
I'm with Alec. I like it. I think it looks more avian than like a fish, but
Yeah, avian.
yeah, yeah, it
Um,
looks almost like a bird of prey kind of idea.
Yeah, I was getting Star Trek Romulan vibes
Yeah,
from it,
yeah, I can see that as well.
and I can't stand it.
I also dislike it very much.
Excellent. 50-50 split. Love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
It-
first, Claire.
It ain't doing it for me, mate. I don't know. I
Not
don't know
even in
what it
pink?
is. Like, not even in. I don't think even pink could save this. I think it looks. Its hooked nose looks really. It looks really forward heavy as well. I feel like in my head I will have to be making adjustments to not pull up for it. I don't like it. I don't think it looks nice. But that's fine because I have many other ships I can fly.
I hate to say this, but the first thing that went through my head when I saw that was Norwegian blue. Because it does look like a parrot on its lying down.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just there thinking, and that's been stuck in my head. So I'm assuming
get
that
rid
it
of
will
the parrot.
move better than being nailed to the perch, but
Finding
yeah.
for fjords. I don't know what you're on about.
So yeah, that
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be multi-role. Looking at this, I can't see anything but piracy when I look at this. Maybe it's something to do with the
Especially
parrot.
with a name like Corsair.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just there thinking, Polly, what a cracker now.
Maybe for April Fool, Frontier will change its boost sound to be a kind of like a squall.
Maybe that's genuinely what it is, though.
They do. I mean, we've got the dolphins sound like a cat or something.
The Cobra Mach 5 sounds like a bag of spanners being thrown at a drum. So
I actually like that drum sound when it slows
it's
down.
great. It's brilliant. I'm not. The boost sounds like a bag of spanners being thrown at a drum. You just like if you hear it, you will. Now you hear it, you will never hear anything else. It's great.
Oh.
Yeah, Elvis Crevin's saying we need a toucan ship skin. And
100%, absolutely.
I agree with him. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, when Psychic said pink, I was thinking, oh, come on, it would look like a flamingo. It'd be amazing.
I mean, it would genuinely would. That's true. That's true, but then it needs one landing gear right in the middle.
One.
Oh, that
it balances on.
Oh, I love that idea. Just a single landing skid.
Oh man, what kind of ship do you think this is going to replace? Because it seems to be tromping on
medium, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tromping on the Python Mach 1 territory. If it's a
I would have thought so.
Cutter medium. No, clipper. What's the size of the clipper?
No.
It's large.
They're large.
It's large.
Yeah, this is the first Imperial medium ship. Because the Imperial Eagle and the other one are small.
They're small, yeah.
Yeah, and the others are all, and the other two are large.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It's kind of infringing in inverted commas on the original one that I don't like, which we've had a Mark II of, Python.
Yeah.
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 Yep,
With Andy Pipkin in the chat says it could rival the Mamba. What do you think about it?
What size is the Mamba?
The Mamba's not a multi-role.
No, it's
The
a fighter.
Mambas are use it as a frag cannon, and then maybe use it for other things if you so wish, and put it back in your garage when you're done.
Rival the Mamba at what?
Yeah.
Going fast in a straight line.
Yeah, because that's what the Mamba is, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
fast in a straight line.
Yeah.
It's not even that fast, but
drag race.
Fight.
I agree with Rock 8 as well, saying it's a bit like Star Wars prequels looking.
I see what they're saying there, yes,
Yeah,
but then that's true of all the Gutemayas.
True.
Yeah, they've always got the kind of phantom menace about it. Well, obviously there's been no passenger liner, because that was the one thing that I was expecting, medium passenger
That's what I think
liner.
we're all hoping, isn't it?
Yeah. The other question is, do you think they'd lock this behind the Imperial mission?
Not if they sell it for arcs.
No.
No, I don't think they will.
I don't think so.
But when it comes to being sold for credits, would they put it behind it?
I don't.
Or do you think that would?
No, because then because if people that will have prepaid for it will be flying around in one and not having the rank. That doesn't seem right if there is a rank. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get a rank. We'll have to get a rank for it.
That's good. Quite relieved about that now. So it seems that this is a pretty much 50-50 split about whether or not people will get it or not. So
yeah, it's definitely a Marmite ship. I've genuinely seen 50-50 across the internet of people either loving it
or hating it. Yeah.
Or hating it. Yeah.
And
it
I'm not
seem divisive.
I'm not hating it. It's just I'm not. It's not something I've just like when we saw the Mandalay. A lot of people just said, "Yep, having that."
Yeah.
Seen this, and I'm just there going, not sure.
I do wish Blair hadn't said the thing about it being nose heavy and constantly wanting to pull up, because now I can't unsee that.
I'm sorry.
Upsetting me slightly.
I'm sorry for making an observation. But I agree with Face Guy. I like the idea of there being more ships that some people aren't going to want to fly and some people are.
Yeah,
like that's really cool. It's a really cool idea. Just you're making a sacrifice for your own personal aesthetic if you want to fly this ship.
That's what I was saying at the outset. It would have been very easy to make the Corsair appeal to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that they didn't.
Agreed.
Right. Well, we were going to speculate on the other three ships, but
we've got so many shows that we can do that with.
Yeah. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on because the Corsair itself was part of the question of the week, wasn't it, Claire?
Yeah, speaking of Alex seeing lots of things on the internet of people having opinions on it, we also asked it as part of our question of the week, which, if you don't know, every week around at some point between 12 and 2, which coincidentally is the same time that Black Diamond FM has the Chris Mark IV doing his excellent radio show, we asked the question of the week to on our Twitter, on our Blue Sky, and on Discord. Those are the only 3 places you will get them, because they're the only 3 social medias that I am logged into, and I'm not logging into the rest of them. And we asked, what do you think of the Corsair? Will you be getting one, and what will you use it for? And Commander Homburger answered with a reference that I do not understand. I am hoping it can house an SLV with tracks instead of wheels, an off-road motorbike, a racing car, and an atmospheric fighter, and change into a fiery phoenix when it overheats.
I give that man £10 for spotting Battle of the Planets, the Phoenix. which
Is
is
that a really obscure reference, or am I just
Oh.
missing?
No, you're not of the right age.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, evidently so.
If you were a child of the 70s, that was probably the most thrilling things when you saw Battle of the Planets, and in the titles you saw one of the characters flashed them their knickers. So that was
Wow.
quite exciting for a 70s
Wow.
cartoon. Yes.
Amazing.
I have Beetlejuice. I like the idea that the ship might not necessarily be locked behind an Imperial rank, but it would be funny if it came with an automatic hostile status in non-Imperial systems. I can imagine the NPC chatter now. It looks like the ideal for power play BGS missions with those Gutamaya rear engines, because those are big engines.
Yeah.
What is it? Size 7? First size 7s on a medium ship?
It does feel like it is. Like I said, I'm shitting on it, but I feel like it's a sacrifice that I'm gonna have to make. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Very much
Ben?
so.
Earth to
Have we
Ben.
lost Ben?
Fuck's
Shall I
sake,
do
I'm talking into the void. Can't press
Okay.
the bloody mute button.
He's supposed to be a technical expert, this guy. Jeez.
No.
I
don't
was too busy
believe
reading
it.
Katie Chaos talking about Seven's Up 7. Anyway, the legend that is Toko So is saying, I really love the look of this ship. It's dangerous and has personality, and I think it will look good in screenshots, not great. If it's a good all-rounder, it might just become a good mission runner, but hopefully a good silhouette and interesting shape for screenshots.
That's a good point.
Yeah, exactly that. Screenshots. Daring, I think was the word he used. I like that. Daring.
Yeah, daring.
The Burpit says, no, I won't do it. I'll definitely be getting one. I'm not crazy about the looks, but I'm guessing it'll grow on me. I'm really curious about it, however, and I have an alt account that might look for a career in more nefarious activities, so it will possibly fit there, I think. Surely the big question is, will it have little flappy wings? Hey!
Will it have little fluffy wings? Who knows? Grab a kill back, my son. Katie Anna says, I don't like the look of the Corsair. I do not feel like I need one in my arsenal. I feel like the view from the window might be okay, but I can't see it being something that I choose. Very happy to be proved wrong, though. Yeah, Katie. All Katie does is fly an Asp Explorer anyway, so.
Fair enough. I've got Spherlance. It has a nose designed for booping on foot NPCs. Just saying.
It does. It does. You could take them
It would
out.
be good for booping. Yeah.
Just like he's popping zits, won't they?
Pecking NPCs to death.
I'm picturing those little bobbing birds. Right. Profane Pagan saying, I am role-playing hard, and I don't own a single Imperial ship. My highest Imperial rank is Outsider. I don't even need another medium ship in my fleet, and I'm going to buy this one with the ship kits, which complete the look. I like its design. I figure we need to keep the momentum up, especially before the end of fiscal year 2025, May 31st. So let's keep supporting our game.
I think that's a really strange. That's a really weird mindset.
What?
It's like pay money for things that you want because they will still make stuff for the game. They're committed. So pay money for the things that you want. Frontier are doing okay.
He likes it as well. I think he likes it.
Yeah, I think he likes it, but Frontier are doing okay.
Why more names?
Don't
Why
feel
more
like you
names?
have to do it. Have to spend money to keep a company afloat. It's okay.
Don't be like Claire. Name your stations, but
Hey,
also
hey,
don't
or
be a dick
roll 'em.
and name them nicely.
Or roll them, see how you get on.
Right, I've got Datanode who says, quite the beak on it. It'll be able to land at medium-sized pads and large-sized bird baths.
Excellent.
Really funny.
There are going to be some funny screenshots of this ship.
That's really good. That's tickled me no end. I love that a lot. Commander Mad Dog says, I like the look of it. It's unusual and different. I totally get that people find it a Marmite ship, though. I'm thinking it will be blisteringly fast straight line, but cutter type 9 like in the corners. I will be getting one, unsure of its use. We'll have to see the finished product. I didn't tell you guys, but in making this base that I did yesterday and today, the very last thing that I did on stream yesterday was the docking computer on the because it's halfway down an asteroid, like a crater. It's halfway down a crater. The docking computer boosted me into the wall of the crater, and it's done that twice through making it. Not fun.
Amazing. That explains a comment I saw on Just About.
Hey kids, I'll do that as American Clueless. We've got.
Commander Silvestri, I know I'm in a minority, but I like the beacon canopy. Canopy looks interesting. We'll need to know how it flies before deciding on a use. Yeah.
The canopy is interesting. Like the screenshot we were showing on the stream, and I need to go back and look at some others. But it does make me think. I'm sort of imagining myself like sitting up in my seat, craning my neck, trying to see over the beak to see where the hell I'm going.
That's the Anaconda you need to do that in, really.
Yeah, that is true.
Anyway, Commander Elfgar, I think. Yes, I'll be grabbing one out of the box. Might be bounty hunting in it. We'll have to see what hard points are like.
Yeah, they haven't mentioned anything about hard points yet, have they?
No.
There is much we need to see.
Edmund P says, absolutely will be getting one. Suddenly makes all the other Gutamaya ships look desperately old-fashioned. Not sure what I'll be using it for, but probably a general purpose mission runner that's fast, resilient, good for some combat, some cargo, decent jump range. Yeah,
Fingers
fair
crossed.
bet.
I'll be interested to see what the conversions is like on the weapons.
Yeah, those. Clipper's terrible for that, isn't it?
Smithy Taxi says 07, of course I'm going to buy one. Thanks, Smithy Taxi. Good.
I have Commander Deadmeat GF. I will be using it to get asteroids out of Space Horse's hooves.
That's a very valid point.
It's a Swiss Army knife of spaceships.
It's just Big Huck, really.
Frank Slarty Bart is saying, I'll probably get the Guatemala Schnozzle once it's available. Yes, Schnozzle. Once it's available for in-game money. I'll be curious to see how fast it goes.
Yeah. Do you know, I've just had a thought, and this makes no sense, and there's no reason why this ship will be any better or worse than any other ship at this. But what I really want to do in this is speed bowling.
Yeah.
I've just got this lovely image of its beak starting to glow red as you start hitting 5,000 meters a second, and
it won't.
It
We
won't
don't get any of that.
but in my head it will, and it'll be beautiful. I'll add that in post to my screenshots. Right. I want to say Daedalus, but it's not quite.
I'd say Daedalus.
Daedalus says, I have no idea what I'll use it for, but I know I'll get one anyway. The name Corsair suggests to me it might be time to try some piracy.
Arr. Commander Zebdelia says, a pirate's gonna pirate, and it's called the Corsair. It's not a big stretch of the imagination. I hope it has nice hardpoint conversions for Cytos. I just hope it's not C5 OP, so I have reason to fly other ships.
Yeah, I know what she means there. I mean, I've got the same thing about the Mandalay being what I consider overpowered, but yeah.
The Mandalay is broken. It should not be like that in the game. It's too good.
What do you mean by C5 OP?
I don't know.
Okay.
Right, I got Siler Rizzy. Nah, I'm happy with my Cobra Mark IV. I keep telling myself, and you will continue to keep telling yourself.
You've got the adder. What else do you need?
You know,
Before Carl explodes, we've got Fist of Snakes. I love Guatemala ships. But this one with this cockpit for me looks like a small fighter rather than more than a medium multi-purpose. Still probably going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Alec. What were you saying before?
No, it's all right. It wasn't that interesting, and I was, I was going to say something about the Cobra Mark V, which isn't even what Silas Resi was talking about. So,
fair enough. Moving on.
Commander Mardente Soloist. It's nice to see new things in Elite Dangerous, but I won't get them for arcs. Maybe with in-game credits, but they have to be really, really good to replace my ASP X.
Mardant hasn't gotten Mandalay yet as well. They've been out on the exploration trail and haven't come back to a place to get a Mandalay yet. So there was a couple of responses to them going, oh, maybe get a Mandalay. See how that goes. Joshua Mesa says, I'm going to use mine for basking with lots of G's.
You can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I am imagine hearing the Klingon theme whenever I see one. I got Commander Lieutenant Evil Dead. I don't know what I'm going to using it for, but I'm going to look at it and defo buying it out of the gate like I did with the Mandalay. So that's an easy sale there.
Buzz Burling is saying, it looks great till you get to the nose. I'm curious to see how it performs.
John Simple.
Go on. Sorry.
Right. Sorry. John Simple says, looks more like Lakon going fancy, but I still like it.
Really?
I don't see that. I'm not seeing Lake on there.
I'm not 100% sold on the Gutamaya looks. Actually, I don't quite get Gutamaya from it. But anyway, never mind. That
one. Jacob Side says no, waiting for the Panther Clipper.
Yay!
Who isn't? Peter Heckle, of course I'll get one. No idea what I'll do with it. That seems to be a theme.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah. D's saying, I just got 800 million from the CG, another 1.1 billion from CG related tasks, and 125 million from the CG before. Kind of flush considering I only have 30 million in the bank before. What I'd love is the Farragut as a pilotable ship with 4 large landing pads and a fuel scoop, short jumps, and tritium long. Okay. Random comment, but okay. Thank you, D.
Commander Crichton Zeroth says, I'll probably call it Nostril Damus. Fill it with passenger cabins along with engineered weapons and take my customers on a trip of a lifetime. Crichton's bounty hunting pirate tours, booking now at all participating starports.
Where you can smell the nebulas, yeah.
Corsair, smell the difference.
John327 says it's definitely a huge step outside the current Gutamaya design aesthetic, but I don't mind that. I'll be picking it up day one and probably make it into a racer.
That's probably what the other thing it would be used for.
Yeah, we shall see.
Viking Zero, I will get it, and I will buy the Stellar version, and I will leave it as it comes to love the idea of a zero rebuy. So let's see what she has. Oh yes, she is sexy.
I love the read, Colin. 10 out of 10, no notes. Ben, there we go.
Yeah.
I stunned Ben then.
Yeah. Artem's saying, yes for PvP, PvE, maybe cargo, for all gameplay in Elite Dangerous. But right now, I would like a new large cargo ship with a capacity of 3,000 to 5,000. It would be more fun to build and colonize. Basically, it's another call for the Panther Clipper, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah, I've seen a few calls for cargo ships that can do 1,000 plus. I wonder why. I've got.
Read it, because that was definitely the name.
Ooh. Yes, the second it comes out, deluxe version with white paint job and ship kit. Hopefully they add Imperial helmet suit as a bonus. I will use it to kill enemies of the Empire. Long live the Emperor.
And then we had ooh at the end.
Barna the dinosaur. What else would the Clipper's little sister be useful for? I see a prime gank boat in the picture.
Arr. I've got
You mean
armor.
Amir.
Yeah, armor. I've got you. It's ugly, so no.
Fair enough. Epsilon Orbital saying, apart from the fact it looks like a big ugly bird, I think it looks alright. Yeah.
I wonder if we can get it in yellow and tell it's the way to Sesame Street.
I'll Lost likely. Maybe it means
most likely.
Most
I would have thought.
likely take it out into the back regardless.
Fair enough.
And shoot it.
With a retriever by your side.
Fishtails USA. They need to make the nose of the ship out of adamantium, so when those pesky Fed ships Fed dropships try a ram maneuver, they get impaled and pop.
Ramming speed.
Yeah, ramming will be
Imagine
fun.
you could actually pierce through something and just stab them.
Little Big Yin says, I'll find out. I'll see if I can get to know him a bit more. I genuinely don't like all-round ships due to the original Python just being so good at everything. The only thing the Imperial Toucan has going for it is the big engines. It's not enough to make me personally splash cash on it. I'll wait for it to appear for credits and then make a racing ship with it.
That's cool. I've got Crawfish for Kraken. Sal Krauger and Guttermeyer needed a medium-sized anything for so long. Pythons are so boring. Can I just mention that someone in the chat said it looked like the eagle from the Muppet Show?
Wait until your next one that you read out, Colin. Shut up.
Spoilers!
God damn it.
Oh, sorry.
Nicey the Awesome is saying, I want it. Given that I'll be sitting in the cockpit and therefore I can't see the nose. I don't mind the style. And those pod thrusters look awesome. Add in the size 7 thrusters, and that is a ship built for hooning around and basking at speed, I think they mean.
We're going to have to put some races on for people to fly their Corsairs in.
Really are. We might have to do a supplemental.
Maybe I should do speedball. Ask Primetime Casual if he's okay with me running a speedball. Right. I have got, speaking of racing, the Stig's cousin. I'll be getting one for credits for sure, even if there's a grind involved. I like multi-role ships because my ADHD brain likes to switch tasks a lot, and a multi-role ship facilitates that well.
Good shout. Nowski says, very characterful design, mean and muscly, roided up luck, with an opposite quote on the forums. This is still concept art, right? I hope they don't nerf that prodigious beak. What will I use it for? Nosing around.
Sniffing out opportunities.
Sniffing out opportunities and nosing around. Oh, man.
They got the jinx effects. Come on, look at it. Of course I'm going to get it. It's beautiful. And yet somehow makes me think of Sam Eagle. What would I use it for? I don't know, but I'll find a reason to fly it.
Nosing around.
I know what you use it for. Business.
And last but by no means least, Commander Schnails is saying, will I be getting one? Absolutely. What am I going to use it for? I haven't got a clue. I love all of my Imperial ships, but I barely use any of them. They look so great. I really want one that ticks the boxes from a usage point of view. But, alas, as yet, I haven't found one that does. I said the same about the Cobra Mark V, though. Couldn't see it was going to be of much use to me. It's all I've piloted in the last 3 months or so. It makes a perfect carrier-based exobiology ship. So fingers crossed, the Corsair will find a niche in my usage pattern.
Excellent. So, right.
Amazing.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's more like a 60 for yes, 40 for no out of that.
Sure.
Although, let's be, its nose is very, it's striking.
Its nose is the contentious issue, I believe.
Noteworthy. Noteworthy.
Let's not. Let's not.
Oh, right. Well, if anybody's got any other business,
I do very quickly. I'm really sorry. I do. Hey. Earlier at the weekend, for those of you who have been to lovely meetups before, we have another one that is happening on the 5th of July. Right bang smack in the middle of something. We're in the same pub in a slightly different place, and the outside bar is going to be open for most of the day. So, if you do wish to come, 5th of July, there will be details. There will be a link to it in the description. We could not have named it better. It literally is just a bunch of people meeting in a pub and having a good time and having a laugh. It's really nice. I love it every time.
Excellent. Right. Well, then we'll quickly do our shout-outs. So our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radioforthemug.com. The discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We'll give shout outs to the other Elite Dangerous podcasts which have appeared over the last while. So we've got the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. And we have the Loose Screws, who are basically...
They exist.
Yeah, they have a screw loose with bad accents. And also, if you speak French...
Colin, how many times do I have to tell you? I just let the funky music do the talking.
There is the Elite Dangerous podcast, which you can... they also do these wonderful missions as well. So following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'll also like to thank everybody who's chipped in on the Twitch chat. And Chris, Mark 5, who have you had visiting?
We've had Hibuki, Ulrich Octavius, Phalela, Felix Sestra, and Tiberius Valerian.
Excellent. So special thanks, of course, go to Commander Tokoso, Jay and Trax, and Alan Stroud, who've all created music that we use for this show. So that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Claire.
Cheers.
Thanks to Ben.
Still got 1 hour to get to Hutton Orbital.
Thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin, and remember all, colonize in moderation.
Wise words, mate. And special thanks to today's tech specialist. That'd be the Chris Mark 4.
You're welcome.
So until next time, Commanders, fly safe, and if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. Need a a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 18th of March 3311. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, colonisation is back, and some important new fixes are on the way. The Distant Worlds 3 people want to colonise Orion, and there's a new, improved Hutton orbital for the most dedicated pilots to visit.
On Friday last week, Brewer Corporation threw the big red switch to turn colonisation back on. Commanders can once again claim new systems from the system colonisation contact, deploy the beacon and haul significant amounts of commodities to establish the system's primary port and make the system forever theirs. Just why the system colonisation contacts were asked to take a 2-week break remains mysterious. However, it may be significant that the starport that had recently been built in the Col 285 sector OH-FB26-8 system has been removed without trace, and the system marked permanently off-limits to colonisation. The Pilots Federation, which has been working with Brewer, says it will tomorrow dramatically increase the capacity for data transfer between commanders' ships and the server farms on Founders World to make sure the colonisation contacts never again have to be told to stop issuing new permits. Brewer is said to be working hard to resolve the most serious problems with colonisation. In addition to increased server bandwidth, several other fixes will be deployed tomorrow. Probably the most significant fix is to free up systems that had become marked as unsuitable for colonisation. These systems always reported system claim unsuccessful, even when they were actually suitable. It may be that the first time a commander tried to colonise a system, it was temporarily unsuitable. For example, a fleet carrier part where the primary starport needed to go. And because of this, the system has wrongly been marked as permanently unsuitable. All of these blocked systems will now be marked as candidates for colonisation when the blocker is removed. This means that a significant number of systems in the bubble will once again become available for colonisation from tomorrow. Another useful deadline is the 26th of March. Systems claimed in the first day land rush will become available for someone else to colonise on that day if the system architect has failed to complete their primary starport.
There are many groups of commanders working to build a string of starports out from the bubble towards something interesting. The Anti-Xeno Initiative has colonised the Pleiades Nebula and may well continue towards the Witch Head. Canon Interstellar is heading doggedly up the Z-axis towards Polaris, leaving a trail of stations that only export bio-waste. And the back from retirement veterans of Distant Worlds 3 are no different. Prior to the start of their next expedition early next year, they want to build the expedition's starting point, far away from the bubble in the dust clouds of the Orion Nebula, possibly somewhere near the PMD 2009-48 system, where Aegis and Azimuth battled to become the primary anti-Xeno agency back in June and July 3307. The explorers' plan is to create a new colony immune to the politics of the bubble, something similar to Colonia before the expansion initiative that brought with it all the political and social issues the original colonists had been trying to escape. It'll be the launchpad for the next expedition, but it'll also persist and evolve as a convenient place for explorers to hang out and swap tales of that exciting new cactoida they found 2,750 light-years further south. To do this, a chain of colonies must be built from the nearest available system with a system colonisation contact. It's going to take a while, but the Distant Worlds 3 people are in no hurry. Their deadline to get the new Distant Worlds home system operational is the end of the year, which will mean colonising roughly 60 systems at a rate of 2 per week. That may sound like a lot of work, but in terms of finding the silliest way to do things, the Distant Worlds 3 people could learn a lot from the Hutton Orbital Truckers.
The Hutton Truckers are never happy unless there's something impractical and inefficient to do. They made their name by basing themselves at Hutton Orbital, an outpost 0.22 light-years from the jumping point at Alpha Centauri. It used to take more than an hour in Supercruise to fly to Hutton Orbital and claim your mug, gin and imaginary anaconda. But with the advent of Supercruise Overcharge, the journey time has decreased dramatically, with the Cobra Mark V, fitted with extra fuel tanks, able to make the journey in just 17 minutes. This made the truckers, who presumably liked the solitude, rather sad, and so they set about trying to find somewhere even less practical for their new base, and they have found it. The new Hutton Orbital, which is helpfully also called Hutton Orbital, is in the Dave Major system, a system possibly better known as Beta Capricorni. It's an interesting system, with the famous yellow-orange giant and blue-white stars, and then an awful lot of empty space, until you get to a pair of dull brown dwarves and a family of small planets orbiting them. This is where the Hutton Truckers have placed their new Hutton Orbital, more than twice the Supercruise distance of the original Hutton Orbital at 0.51 light-years. This is probably too far to use Supercruise Overcharge the whole way in any ship, but if you want to visit, Apex taxis can allegedly get you there in around 2.5 hours. We gave up trying to get there, so these are some pictures of the original Hutton Orbital instead. If you fancy the most boring ride of your life, Hutton has you covered.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.